I hear a few ohs and ahs and wows out here. To your health. I drank 2 or 3 glasses of this a day. My head hasn't fallen off. Nobody in our inside group in Orange County, not one person has had a cold or flu or a virus or pneumonia in about 3 years. And one lady we know had a cold beginning. She put this blood cleaner on and drank a little Colite. It was gone in about an hour and a half. How about a cure for the common cold? Do you ever think you'd live to see this? Okay. Here we are. Hello?
What does that light mean?
This is called a laser. What you're seeing is a Tyndall, named after the physicist, capital Tyndall, or the Rayleigh, depending on the book you look in Great Britain or America, Rayleigh effect, where you cannot see the particles of silver, which are far too small to even see with an optical microscope. And when I take this colloid, as I have done, to a laboratory that analyzes the particle size with an electron scanning microscope and the parts per million by spectroscopic analysis of a given concentration, they will tell me that this is the finest grain colloid you can make, 0.001 microns, billionths of an inch, up to 0.005. That means that if you buy this much colloid for about $90 at the health fair or the pharmacy or the health food store, this much would be about $50 today. You have made a far better colloid than they can make, in spite of the fact they will tell you our colloid is better. We work with a secret process. We have a $100,000 machine. We use a Tesla coil in charging a silver plate, and we put the note B flat into the water. Bullshit! This is the best colloid. If you want to make it golden yellow instead of white, you use distilled water, boil the water, get it up to about 212 Fahrenheit, and as it cools off, you put the battery and the electrodes in it. By the way, all of these blood electrifiers now not only electrify the blood, but they produce colloid as well, because we do 2 things to raise the dead, like Lazarus. We get the adversaries out of his blood with mild electrification, 50 to 100 microamperes. The frequency is 3.92 hertz. That's half of the Schumann resonance, 7.83. We found this is best. I've worked with this for 5 years. I am so healthy now I can't stand myself. I've been called to wish me Happy New Year, and I started laying my trip on him. But I am, and I can show you my medical records to prove it. And I've got photographs of me when I was fatter than hell and nearly bald. And the colloids prevent secondary infections from attacking your body while you're getting well. This takes about 3 weeks, that's all. You're well. The third thing we do is a magnetic pulsar. And how much time do we have legally here, Coach? Okay, I'm going to go ahead with this because these are things you probably haven't seen before unless you've caught the Whole Life Expo. I like it. This device, if you buy it at a health expo, costs $2,700 to $7,000. The brand names are Magnetotron. There are about a dozen devices that allegedly put a time-varying magnetic field into your body to heal disease. Another device was called the Diapulse. I thought, how can people do their own device for under $25 and have it about 500 times better than one that costs $7,000. This device is a Vivitar model 1900 strobe light, speed gun. It goes in the camera. 1, 2, 3. I've pasted a piece of paper over the flash tube so it doesn't hurt your eyes. This coil costs about $1 if you wind it yourself on an old VHS form, and we tell you exactly how many turns, 130 turns of number 14 to 16. It's on page 6. Everything I know about this I've put in this paper. I'm giving you your life back for the price of the Xeroxing. This coil is connected with a piece of lamp cord in series with the flash tube. So when the capacitor charges up in the strobe, it takes about 3 to 10 seconds, depending on the life of the batteries, and you push the button. Normally, all of the watt seconds or joules of energy that are stored in the capacitor go through the flash lamp, makes a flash, and you can take the picture and freeze the action. If you take one of the electrode wires off of one side of the flash tube, put this coil in series with it, that entire 17.5 to 35 watt seconds, 1/2 CV squared, where C is in microfarads, V is in kilovolts, goes through the coil. And what have we got here? An occult field, OCCULT. The Webster's Dictionary definition of occult until the last 75 years means hidden, like occluded blood in the urine. Occult means hidden. I can't hear it. I can't smell it. I can't taste it. I can't feel it. What makes me think something is happening in this coil that's going to cure the germs that are hiding in your lymph, your adenoids, your gonads? This is a washer. I got it down at Pep Boys. It's called a fender washer. Now, if you'll stand up and back, you might be able to see this magic. Well, let's get it a little higher. Stop.
Let me help you. Let me help you. We can turn this upside down.
Well, good luck. And here we go.
Can I hold it?
Yes.
It won't shock me.
No, it won't shock you. It's impossible to harm you. We're going to put this washer on the coil. Now watch the washer on 3. 1, 2, 3. What'd you see up close? It kicked the washer several inches into the air. That's called eddy current. After the physicist E.D.D.Y., it's called back EMF. Now here we go again. 1, 2, 3. What happened, thank you very much, sir, is the back EMF, electromotive force, that was generated inside of this washer repelled the field of this time-varying magnetic field. You might ask, will permanent magnets that they sell at these health fairs have any effect on this? No. They have no effect on disease that's measurable. This does. When you cut the lines of flux with a magnetic field, like the alternator in your automobile, if your engine is stalled and the alternator is not rotating in the magnetic field, not 1 millivolt comes out of that alternator or generator or magneto or dynamo, but the minute you have relative motion, you're generating electricity. This is the way all generators work. Now, let's say that my thymus is not dead, has not been taken out and mummified and put in a jar in ancient Egypt, and I hold this coil over my thymus gland and push the button, or my lymph nodes, and these are all illustrated in your paper. I think it's page 8. Under my arms. What have I done? Every time I push this button, I have generated a 19,000 Gauss, 19 kilogauss field that has a duration of about 10 to 100 micro millionths of a second. I have a time-varying field. Every cell, every fiber, every nerve, every bone, every muscle in my body is a conductor, as long as it has any salt water in it. I am a conductor as long as I'm alive, and I'm not a mummy. When you cut that conductor with time-varying magnetic flux, you generate a back EMF, just as we did in this washer, and you get about 1 milliampere, 1,000th of an ampere of current to a 4-inch depth through everything that's alive in your body. This is way more than you need to totally neutralize any virus, microbe, pathogen, germ, parasite, fungus that's living anywhere in your body. Now, we have cured many, many AIDS victims, many cancer victims, to have them get sick through, well, in this case, 5 years later, because we did not get the viruses that were hibernating, were germinating in their lymph tissue, their adenoids, their glands, etc. It would take hundreds of needle insertions with electricity on the needles, which would be very painful, and to get these things in vitro. Why not from the outside of the body with a time-varying magnetic field? You can build this device for under $25 if you build your own. It is fully described on page 6 of your paper. We suggest that if you want to get well, stay well, do not wish to die of whatever is bothering you now, you build one of these things and use it. And again, if you're too ignorant, too lazy, too stupid, too electronically impaired, have 2 broken arms, can't read or write the English language, and want to buy one, they cost about $150 from the 30 or so companies that are building these full-time and running as fast as they can to stay out of the way of the Food and Drug Administration, because this works. Now here it comes again, boys and girls. Take back your power. You have heard tonight of the most effective way, and I stand before you telling you I am not selling you anything. I am giving this information away. We have mailed hundreds of these papers absolutely free, and I have paid the postage. Tonight I'm trying to get my money back for the Xeroxing, so they cost $5. Before they run out, this is the most valuable information, and you have a question, Ivan.
Tell about the negative beatitude, why you're giving this away.
I'm scared shitless of the Food and Drug Administration. If I sold anything, I'd probably go to jail.
And I'm talking about the one that says, cursed is he who, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, well, let's leave that for a little bit later. I've got to ruminate on this now. We're going to throw this open to questions. We could tell you about all the children that were born with AIDS that are well now. We could tell you about, and so we'll turn it over to our host and moderator.
Okay, for all questions, you need to go in the back where the audio recorder is, and so we can get it on tape. We have another mic back there, so would you just form a line, and we'll have our speaker stay right here and answer the questions. Can't wait till he's ready. Now, before we start the questions, I'd like Jane to come up here. She's been cured of cancer, and she has something to say. Jane, did you hear me? I don't know if you're absorbed in a conversation back there.
She's on her way.
Okay, I want to tell you, in case Bob exaggerated, that in April of 1995 I had cancer surgery, and I refused the radiation and chemotherapy, and I used, for the following, well, ever since